Hi everybody, it's Avalon and I want to talk to you guys today about the needle. Now, if you're easily triggered, I don't want that to happen, but I'm going to be very descriptive in my my description of how I used it and the insanity that comes along with it. So, but I don't want to trigger anyone. So don't watch it. If you're easily triggered, stop now. Okay. Well, when I first started using heroin, I snorted it, and I swore that I would never use a needle. And I think within 1 month, maybe two the most, I had tried it and was doing it. And as time went on, a love affair between me and the needle grew and grew. I started not doing anything I couldn't put into a needle. And, I was watching this veterinary show the other day, and they were giving the horse a tranquilizer. And they put the needle in the horse's neck, and she drew the plunger back, and blood rushed in. And when I watched that, I got this. Oh, I remember, and I thought, you know what, Avalon, that is sick. That's a sickness. But it just reminded me of how strong that pull is. How seeing that you hit a vein, how important, how exciting, what a rush it gives just seeing the blood come in, let alone injecting the drug. And I have very terrible veins, small ones and very deep. And I would try, I'm left-handed, and so I would try to hit, as you can see. I still have a permanent scar from trying to hit that vein, and just I would dig, and blood would be running. If I got a little bit of blood in the needle, and I knew I only had a little bit of time before that blood coagulated inside of that needle, and it would clog, and then I would be fucked. And so I would cry, and I'd get mad because I couldn't find a vein, and just sweating, just sick, how I would save the cottons, and because you never know when you're going to be dope sick and you need those cottons, and they were my cottons, and if anybody fucked with my cottons, stole my cottons, I was gonna fuck you up. They're my fucking cottons. I'd hide them, the fuck, cotton fever, giving myself cotton fever. If you don't know what cotton fever is normally I would use a cigarette filter to put my needle in, draw the drugs up. If I didn't have that, I'd have to use a cotton ball. And cotton balls are very loosely put together. And so when you go to draw up, some strands of cotton get sucked up in that needle. And then you inject it into yourself. About, if I can remember right, 25 minutes later, I would get an instant fever. I would be shaking and shivering, and I'd get cotton fever. And I'd throw down Tylenol, but I'd have to ride it through. I'd have to ride it out. But I had to use a cotton ball. I had to shoot my drugs. Craziness. It's like I started shooting my Ambien. I started shooting anything that I could put into a needle because I had a love affair and an obsession with that needle. And it didn't matter I would use needles to to the point where it looked like this. It was so bent. It's one that I didn't have one break off in my arm. I mean, it's a wonder, because I would use, because I didn't want to go to the pharmacy and buy needles, because that's embarrassing. Oh yeah, I'm here for my grandmother to buy a pack of needles. Uh-huh. Sure you are. And I was embarrassed. I did it a couple times. I lived in a small town. We didn't have needle exchange. But yeah, so I would use them and use them and use them and use them. And dirty ones, I would get them from people. And I got Hep C, of course. But I've been treated, so I don't have that anymore. But I was, I'm thinking, I'm sure it's that way for a crack addict. I mean, I did crack too, but I didn't have the affair with the stem that I did with the needle. But I'm sure it's like that for anybody that has a drug of choice. And that's just part of the lifestyle. It's hard to get over. It's hard to not watch something like that, like that vet show, and see that and not be like, oh wow. I remember the rush of that. And but I'm going, November 28th will be 6 years clean for me. And I've come a long way, but I'm, even after 6 years, I still get those thoughts and those feelings. I think I always will. I'm an addict, and that's just the way it is. But there is hope, and we are slowly changed by the renewing of our minds, and that is the truth. And it's not going to happen all at once, but it does. There is a change, and you can get better. There is hope after addiction, and don't be down on yourself because certain things still trigger you, or But anyway, it's a very insidious, sick disease, and we all have all those things in common. It's not just me. It's any addict. We know what it's about. We know all those little secrets of it. We know all of that. So it's not just me. I'm sure there's some people out there that understand exactly what I'm talking about. All right, guys. I am going to let you go. I hope you're all having a good day. Brightest blessings, and God is blessed.